I am only going to humbly suggest to you that if you're going to imagine the future is going to be bleak and dismal, I'm going to imagine that the future is going to be fine and absolutely on the dot.
A determined visionary, an ambitious administrator, a loyal leader, Sheila Dikshit is known for making New Delhi the well-planned cosmopolitan it is today. Here's a look at her journey from nursery school teacher to Delhi's longest-serving chief minister through a series of rare interviews.
I can't do it overnight, Karanji. If you want to say your say and not listen to what I have to say, I'm afraid I might as well interview you.
She was born Sheila Kapoor on 31st March 1938 in Kapurthala, Punjab. She grew up in Delhi and earned her MA in history while working part-time at a nursery school. It was in college that she fell in love with Vinod Dikshit and they got married in 1962. Her father-in-law Uma Shankar Dikshit was a popular Congress leader at the time.
My husband was in the IAS,
right?
So he was not in politics at all. So my entering politics was not via my husband, it was via my father-in-law, and who picked me up and who encouraged me, because I was the only other member of the family who was there. There were no other children.
And even then, judging by the book, it doesn't seem to have been your idea. You got a call saying, why don't you contest, why don't you get into politics?
It wasn't my idea at all. I had worked a lot during Indira ji's earlier days, you know, when she, after Lal Bahadur Shastri died, I, helped my father-in-law a lot. By helping, I mean really being his hostess, you know, because, my mother-in-law was rather old. So I used to look after, and I just got into it, without having an ambition for being in politics at all.
She made her political debut at the age of 46, winning the Kannauj Lok Sabha seat. She was named MOS Parliamentary Affairs in Rajiv Gandhi's cabinet. But tragedy struck in 1987 when her husband passed away due to a heart attack. A grieving Sheila continued her duties as Union Minister and was later made MOS PMO. In 1989, she contested from Kannauj again, but lost. 2 years later, her father-in-law passed away. Sheila then stayed away from active politics for several years, until a call in 1998 from newly elected Congress President Sonia Gandhi changed all that. With Sonia's backing, Sheila fought the 1998 Lok Sabha elections from the East Delhi seat.
Mrs. Gandhi understood me.
This is Sonia Gandhi.
And Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. She understood me. Before that I have written it in the book also, I was made to contest an election of an MP from East Delhi. Yeah. And that huge, the second largest, constituency in the country. I lost only by 45,000 votes. And now you see...
Against the national trend, when the Congress did badly.
This thing. And when I had hardly ever been to East Delhi, it was a very reluctant step I took. But we managed to do something. I think that is what triggered the idea that let us make her, she can do something.
Sonia appointed her Congress Delhi chief ahead of the 1998 Delhi Assembly elections. Sheila not only defeated BJP's Kirti Azad, but also led the Congress to a massive victory and was sworn in as chief minister. Her first task was a mammoth one, ensuring that all public transport vehicles switched to CNG as per the Supreme Court order. A determined Dikshit ensured that thousands of vehicles were fitted with the CNG kit and there were adequate CNG refilling stations. In 2002, she once again proved her mettle as an able administrator with the inauguration of the Delhi Metro. She privatized power distribution, ensuring that frequent power cuts were a thing of the past in Delhi.
Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Mr. L.K. Advani, who was then the Home Minister and the Prime Minister, they helped me a lot. They guided me a lot. Metro would never have come had I not been there. And we wouldn't have had CNG if we hadn't been there. And we wouldn't have had the kind of greenery that we had, the kind of new buses, widening, they helped me a lot. So in Delhi, you cannot be the kind of traditional chief minister that you think of in other states.
She led Congress to a consecutive victory in 2003. She then introduced the Bhagidari scheme, where citizens could directly reach out to government officials regarding civic issues. An avid nature lover, she increased Delhi's green cover from 8% to 33%.
We made Delhi the richest city in the country. We've also made it kerosene free. We've made it green. We've given Ladli. We've done everything for women, for children.
She also brought in over 70 new flyovers, easing the capital city's congestion woes. But the spate of accidents due to the Blue Line buses caused rising anger against the Delhi government.
If I import a bus and it costs me twice the amount that a bus...
What's the value of a life on the roads of Delhi?
What is the value of that?
Life on the roads of Delhi. People
No,
are
very, no. Don't say that. You were making out that there was an epidemic of people dying. That's not true. That's not. And please remember one thing, the buses may be wrong many times, or perhaps more times than necessary, but there are people also who are indisciplined.
As the 2008 elections approached, Sheila Dikshit remained confident.
How can I say that? I am naturally there. I am the sitting chief minister. So why do you have to say, you have a nose on your face? No. Why do you have to, I don't have to tell you, you have a nose on your face.
The 2008 assembly elections proved that people still had faith in her.
दिल्ली की जनता को अपना बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ कि उन्होंने कांग्रेस पार्टी को तीसरी बार लगाकर कांग्रेस को विजयी बनाया.
But her third term would be her most controversial. In 2008, a young TV journalist was shot dead on her way home from work. As questions were raised over the safety of women in India's capital, Sheila Dikshit came under fire for terming the victim adventurous.
I think what I said was really blown out of proportion, but I can tell you I'm deeply concerned about it. But I would also like to tell you that women who are working in jobs which are 24 hours, they should be escorted by their employers as safely as they possibly can, not be allowed to go home at 3 in the morning all by themselves.
In 2009, she came under heavy criticism for granting parole to Manu Sharma, prime accused in the Jessica Lal murder case. At the same time, she was under pressure to ensure Delhi was ready for the 2010 Commonwealth Games.
Now the Commonwealth Games Federation has even dropped all attempt to hide its deep anxiety that Delhi is far from ready for these games. Where does the blame lie?
Where did you meet the Confederation? We are in touch with the Confederation all the time. Just listen to me. Everything has started and it will be finished before the Games. I can assure you of that, whether we remain there or we do not remain there. A lot of them have been sorted out. You have no idea what has been sorted out. Everything will get sorted out. Everything will be in place. We are confident of that.
As the deadline grew closer, many began to question Sheila's administrative prowess.
Let me quote to you what one of your senior officials on Tuesday, just 5 days ago, said to the Calcutta newspaper, The Telegraph. He says, "It would be an understatement to describe the situation as alarming. It is calamitous." Are you worried that your officials...
I don't know which official said this, and if he hasn't got the courage to say who is saying it, then I think he's just imagining things, and I don't know what level of official he was, whether he's connected with that. That's not going to happen, please believe me.
Although she pulled off the mammoth task of hosting the CWG, she was then accused of large-scale corruption in order to meet the deadline. She was subsequently not named in the FIRs filed in the case and emerged with her clean image intact. In 2012, she underwent an angioplasty and was preparing to step down as chief minister due to health issues. It was then that the brutal Nirbhaya gang rape shook the nation. As protests broke out across the nation, Sheila Dikshit went on the defensive.
What happened then was awful. It was terrible. It hurt everybody. It hurt all of us. It hurt the entire country. But I want to ask you another question. Is Delhi the only city that is covered? It is statistically proved that Madhya Pradesh has the maximum number of rapes. Nobody talks about it. Nobody makes an issue out of it.
Her response backfired and erupted in a wave of anti-Sheila sentiment. The growing popularity of the anti-corruption movement led by Anna Hazare further added to rising anger against the Congress government in Delhi and at the centre.
By the time Anna Hazare's sit down at the Ramlila Maidan had finished, by that time I got the feeling that, yes, he's having some impact there. There's one Nirbhaya became such a huge issue. You remember the whole of India Gate was full of people. I remember my son Sandeep's car going and he's being stoned and all the rest of it. So you see, it was there. So the atmosphere was built up. And I must admit to you, I've not done it so well in the book, that the kind of support that I had expected my congressman to give, not me, but the Congress government per se, was not forthcoming.
In 2013, the Aam Aadmi Party swept the elections and the Congress was reduced to just 8 seats. Sheila Dikshit herself was defeated by Arvind Kejriwal from the New Delhi seat.
Did you in your wildest dreams think he would defeat you in your own constituency?
Towards the end, yes, I thought.
Yep. So it wasn't such a surprise when it happened?
Yeah.
As Kejriwal took charge as Chief Minister, it was soon clear that the two had very different leadership styles.
Kejriwal remains adamant on holding a protest outside the Home Ministry on Monday, but the Delhi police have imposed prohibitory orders in and around Parliament House and the North and South Block.
You did not have a great deal of respect for Arvind Kejriwal's way of doing things.
Yes.
You've seen him now as Chief Minister. Has your opinion changed?
No.
Why?
You see, you are the Chief Minister of this city. You've been elected and massively elected by the people of Delhi. Who do you owe it all to? The people of Delhi? So what is good for the people of Delhi, even if you have to stoop to conquer and get that through, I believe in that. And I don't think Mr. Kejriwal does that. Mr. Kejriwal sits there and fights it out and says that I will do this or I will do that. I mean, what are you fighting with the Lieutenant Governor for?
She was appointed Governor of Kerala in 2014 but resigned after the BJP came to power at the centre. In 2017, the Congress called on Sheila to be the party's chief ministerial face in the UP elections. A reluctant Sheila resisted for a while but finally gave in to the party's request.
I agreed because I eventually felt, please, I must tell you that I am a congressman, you know. Right
Congressperson.
Yes, I'm a person who's a congressman who knows nothing else but Congress. So then I thought that if I was going to be of any help, and I'm sure that these people must have evaluated something, then, and that's why they asked me, otherwise I was nowhere in the picture. So I thought that it should not let it down. And when all of them, Priyanka and Rahul and everybody said, you better come along. So I thought that I should do it, whatever I could do for them. And I must admit to you, with humility, that you know when we did go around, took those rounds, 27 Saal UP Behal slogan. You know, the Congress did seem to rise. We were getting very, very good crowds, and there were people coming out, congressmen coming out, lots of things. But then suddenly the decision was taken that we were going to join up with Akhilesh Yadav, and there it was.
With Akhilesh projected as the CM face, the Congress-SP alliance lost to the BJP, and Sheila once again withdrew from active politics. In 2018, she underwent heart surgery. A year later, the party called on her once again, this time to lead the 2019 Lok Sabha campaign in Delhi. The 81-year-old Sheila went all out, even joining Instagram to reach out to young voters.
Dear friends, I'm on Instagram. Let's connect.
But the party couldn't win a single seat and she was defeated by BJP's Manoj Tiwari. It would be her last fight. A few months later, Sheila Dikshit passed away due to a cardiac arrest, and her death sent reverberations across the political landscape.
हालांकि हम अलग-अलग पार्टी से थे, लेकिन जब भी उनसे मुलाकात होती थी, वो बहुत ही स्नेह और प्यार से सबसे मिला करती थी.
We became almost like an elder sister and a friend. I'm sure, like myself, all my colleagues will miss her, and this is a big loss for the Congress Party.
I think Delhi will always remember her for her developmental contributions. She changed the face of Delhi.
Sheila Dikshit will be remembered for her enduring contribution to Delhi's development. Her ability to delegate responsibility and maintain a cordial relationship with both the bureaucracy and the centre marked her as an efficient, generous leader. Her affable nature and calm temperament made her a dependable and loyal political worker who was always ready to take up any challenge thrown at her. She will always be hailed as the woman who knew how to get things done, albeit with a warm smile and a firm hand.